What's up, people? Welcome back to the show. This is the Upper Tier Podcast, the football and pro wrestling podcast we bring you each and every week. Darren wasn't available tonight. He's entertaining tonight, as we do at sometimes coming up to Christmas. So I said, rather than doing a Thursday tier talk, we get on the support train here for Shelbourne and we do a watch along Shelbourne versus Crystal Palace live from Tallaght Stadium. I hope you're enjoying the videos that have gone up today, the shorts from Dave, I should say. Dave is in Tallaght Stadium tonight. He is Shelbourne's announcer on the night, and he's also going to be the VAR for the night as well. So there you go, David, who does the wrestling show with us and stuff like that. So give him all your support, and if you are up in Tallaght Stadium, go up and say hello to him and stuff like that and all, so it should be excellent. But he gives us quite an insight in there today if you've checked out those shorts and stuff like that. So big up to David in situ at the moment in Tallaght Stadium. So he'll be bringing us updates no doubt throughout the evening. But he's busy tonight. Cracking game tonight, absolutely. Now, it's a horrible evening, Tallaght. It's been a horrible day all day here in Ireland, especially here on the East Coast as well. Wicklow, Dublin, has been horrible, Good to see the Crystal Palace fans enjoying themselves, partying up in Dublin and stuff like that. I'm sure they're not happy about the price of beer in Temple Bar. They won't have experienced that like that back home. But good to see they're having a good time. Paddy Vieira and all that kind of stuff. Oliver Glasner on the screens now being interviewed at the moment. Interesting. 4 changes he's made since Fulham. We will go through the teams now shortly and stuff like that. But Palace sitting 21st. Haven't been able to replicate their league form. Flying high in the Premier League at the moment, but struggling to create that form in the Europa League Conference League, I should say. So this presents a big opportunity for them. They would be looking to put 3 points on the board. I'm sure they're the heavy favourites and stuff like that. But on a dirty night like that in Tallaght Stadium and stuff like that, sometimes that might be a slight leveler potentially for Shelbourne. Joey O'Brien done a fantastic job there, of course. Doing absolutely brilliant, but again, similar, struggling a little bit in Europe. Shelbourne down in 34th at the moment. Both these teams really need 3 points tonight. So I would imagine both teams are going to go for it. Looking at the lineups, strong attacking feel to the lineups as well and stuff. So but yeah, it's great coverage, great to see, and I hope you're enjoying the watch along. We're going to have a bit of crack tonight. We'll talk about all things. We throw in the chat there, whatever you want. We could talk about Christmas. We could talk about movies. I did want to ask everyone actually in the chat once they get in there and stuff like that, how do they feel about the new formats now that we're in the second year of it? How do you feel about the new format in the Champions League and stuff like that and all? Do you feel it's working? Think it's better than what we've seen in the past? It's interesting, isn't it? And I have to say I do like it and stuff like that. Right, we'll go through the teams quickly anyway, but jump in the chat there, folks. Have a bit of fun. Don't be a stranger. Assist me as we go through this watch along and stuff like that. We have a bit of crack. So let's take it. Shelbourne, Spielen, goals and Bang, Coyle, Barrett, Ledwidge at the back 4. Midfield 3 of Henry Francis, McEnroy, and Evan Caffrey. And then up front, we have John Martin on one side, Harry Wood on the other side, all flanking Sean Boyd up front. Crystal Palace, plenty of changes there. Interesting ones as well. Walter Benitez in goals. Richards, Lacroix, and Gahey at the back. That solid 3 partnership being unbelievable in the Premier League. Devaney, Wharton, Kamada, and Sousa in the midfield. 4, Eddie Nketiah on the left, Uche on the middle, and Jeremy Pino on the right. They are your lineups. Palace lining up in a 3-4-3 and Shelbourne lining up in a 4-3-3. Slightly different. Shelbourne are really going to have a task on their hands. Sean Boyd and the boys here to break down the likes of Gahey, Lacroix, and Richards. They've been stellar this season. How many games have we seen them in and stuff like that? But you can see on the screens there at the moment now, like it's unbelievable, isn't it? It's absolutely belting down, and like fair play to the Palace fans. 2,000 Shelbourne as well. Any fans are out there in that weather tonight, it's absolutely horrific. So hats off to one and all who are there, and hope you get whatever result you desire. Kickoff will be coming up shortly. Keith's in the chat. Big up, Keith. Where are we? Keith. What's the crack, Niall? Hope Dave sees this, but up the hearts. Yeah, absolutely. I was talking to Dave today, Keith, and he did a few shorts and stuff for us and all, so a bit of crack, like, I prefer the old format in the Champions League. Do you really? Interesting. Why? Tell me why. Don't just throw it out there that you prefer the old format. Tell me why you prefer the old format. Do you not find in the old format there was a lot of just kind of, you didn't really get a lot of the cool matches that you get? Do you not think we get a lot more competitive matches now, or a lot more matches that you really want to watch? Whereas in the old group phase, kind of there was so many throwaway matches on any given night and stuff like that. And also, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on it. I kind of really like the new format. I think Darren's in agreement with me on it as well. I think he had mentioned that he liked it as well, that it does lend itself, the fixture list, to you getting some really nice fixtures. And I mean, you think about it this season, even as bad as Liverpool have been, look at the teams that we have played: Real Madrid, Atletico, Inter Milan. You would never get those games. You would never get those games normally, on the old format, until you kind of get into knockout stages and stuff like that. But let me know why you like it more, Be cool to find out. Interesting. Do 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 do. Yeah, but let me know. Let me know your thoughts. And what are you going for tonight, folks? What's your predictions tonight? Obviously, we'd love a Shelbourne win, being Irish and stuff like that and all. You know what I mean? And I think earlier in the night as well. How did Rovers get on earlier in the night? Rovers got beaten 3-1 away. Really struggling as well, aren't they? Where's Rovers? Where are Rovers sitting now after that result? It's not good when you're scrolling right down at it. Rovers are second from bottom and 35th. Real struggle. 1 point from 5 games. Not good. Not good at all. Not good at all. Not good. But yeah, real struggle, isn't it? Real struggle. Let us know your predictions, folks. I did predict earlier today. I was thinking probably a 3-1 win. I think Dave said the same, a 3-1 win to Crystal Palace. I think it's going to be real tough for Shells tonight. This is proper competition, but we have seen Palace struggling in the European stage, in the Conference League, compared to the Premier League. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens. Maybe Shells can pull off another unbelievable night. They'll need to play at the level. Remember the level they played at against Shamrock Rovers in those final games in the league this year, where they were unbelievable, playing well above themselves and stuff like that and all. So we'll see what happens, but it is going to be interesting. But we shall see. It's going to be really tough. That's a very strong. You look at that midfield there as well, Kamada and Wharton, especially Wharton. Wharton in there is just levels on this stage, isn't he? Levels. I didn't look either at I must look at the benches as well. What are the benches looking like? Palace brought plenty with them as well. Dean Henderson's on there, Tarek Mitchell, Cloyne, Will Hughes, Matthews, Rodney, Casey, Tom. Yeah, look at that. Look at those top 4 or 5 there, down as far as Will Hughes even. Hughes, Cloyne, Lerma, Mitchell, and Henderson. Lots to savour there, isn't there? Lots to savour there. A few interesting ones on the bench as well for Shells, of course. Lonnie's there and stuff like that, and also, if called upon, we shall see, But certainly going to be interesting. Certainly going to be interesting. I think when I looked at it on form, slightly in different form from both teams in Europe at the moment, but obviously Palace with much better form overall in terms of their league, with the Irish League being finished and stuff like that. Shells are relying on the European situation for their games and stuff like that, whereas Crystal Palace are right in the height of a season at the moment in the Premier League, riding high in it as well, doing really well under Oliver Glasner. So certainly going to be really interesting. Keith, I don't hate the new format. It's good to see the likes of Man City and Real face each other. Maybe it's because it's fewer games in the old format. I prefer it. Yeah, it can be that all right. Forest with a real good 2-1 winning away at Utrecht. They're saying that, yeah, some really good substitutions coming on to make the difference. Yeah. Rangers losing again. Fair and Forest. Not good. Some good games tonight, though. Some good games tonight. Ball versus Aston Villa. Celtic versus AS Roma. Interesting. Hats off as well to Mourinho, folks. I don't know if you're saying it was it last night. He 150 Champions League games. You know, really looking forward to the rest on podcast on Saturday for John Cena's farewell. Should be a cracker. Will be a cracker. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. I did do a few bets today as well, folks. So maybe we'll drop a few beat the bookie bets if you just want to drop some on the halftime break. So let me know if you've done a few bets. I know Ted normally has a few bets for the Thursday and stuff like that. So if he does join us in the chat later on, maybe before the second half, we can go through some bets and have a bit of crack. Teams around the tunnel here. Filthy night. Look at that. Filthy. Bum, bum, bum. I'll let you know as well, folks, once we've kicked off as well, so we can sync it all up. And so sometimes there can be a little bit of a delay or whatever. So I'll keep you posted once we've kicked off. What are you saying? 2,000 Palace fans have travelled over. That's phenomenal, isn't it? Phenomenal support on the road in filthy weather, like, you know. Party central for those boys at the moment. Parties that those boys have been on the Raz all day. I'd say Dublin City has profited greatly today from the booze and the Guinness. Certainly Temple Bar, that's for sure. The Palace fans look like they've been having a good time. Like that Shelbourne strip, actually, it's nice. It's mad, isn't it, to see Palace there talking out at Tallaght Stadium, isn't it? I've often said as well when I covered some of the matches, especially on the League of Ireland as well, Tallaght Stadium's a real good-looking stadium, isn't it, on the TV? It looks the part, doesn't it? Looks the part. And it kind of has that feel, doesn't it? It has that kind of, even though it's quite a modern stadium as well, but it has that feel of an old-school stadium, doesn't it? You know? So, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Barrett on a yellow there as well. Oliver Glasner looking quite relaxed. Big up Joey O'Brien. He's doing a stellar job at Chelsea, isn't he? Pitch don't look too bad. Sure, it doesn't, considering the couple of days it's had with the storm and the weather and everything else. Players making sure they're well warmed up anyway, that's for sure. Let us know your predictions, folks. What are you going for in this one? What's the predictions for tonight's live game? Shelbourne versus Crystal Palace. What are you going with? Do we see any way there's a home win here for Shells? Can they get something out of it? Mark Gay. Hoping he'll be in a Liverpool shirt sooner rather than later. Phenomenal defender. One of the best in Europe right now. Right on top of his game. And close to kick-off here now, just exchanging exchanging the match dignitary stuff and all that. How good does Tallaght Stadium look tonight, folks? Looks phenomenal. Packed house, right at the foot of the Dublin Mountains. Phenomenal. Shells in the huddle. Tallaght Stadium is probably the only stadium, is it, that passes UEFA, I would imagine. Apart from the Aviva, obviously. I don't know. No idea. Does Daily Man pass it or? Right, we kicked off, folks. We're on the way. 3 seconds gone. Long ball. Conditions are rough. Man getting it out. Crystal Palace on the left-hand side here with the ball. Richards here going to take the long throw in. It's been so powerful for teams in the Premier League this season, these long throw-ins. Massive gap there in the box, look. Ball into the box. Out for corner. Corner to Crystal Palace. Barrett with the clearance, was it? Big up there. How are you, pal? Hope you're good. Keith's going for a 4-0 Palace. Dar's going for a 1-0 win to the Shells. There we go. Get that Irish on your heart there. Good man. And Keith's back in again. I'm guessing we will be doing a watch-along for the Royal Rumble next month, which will be a handy time as well. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. That's on the cards. I'll have to figure that out, though. Should be fine to do it, though. Ref just checking with the boys here. Having a bit of a tussle. Coiler there getting stuck in, is it? Ball coming in here off the cross. Flash the cross. Cleared by Shells. Dangerous, dangerous. Oh. Palace with the ball on the right-hand side. Throw in. Well covered. Well covered. It was Ledwidge there on the cover, was it? That's a good covering at the back post off the corner as well. Really slippy. Went through a bunch of players. Good covering on the back post. Richards over the far side now again. We're getting another throw in. Slippery conditions as well. Opposite side this time. Absolute mirror image. Ball coming in. Flicked on. Oh! Poor miss from Gahey there. He's missed the setter. Knock on was lovely. Ball in. Another knock on. Ah, he has to finish that. Who was at the back there? Kamada, was it? Offside, was it? Was it an offside for Kamada? Yeah. I think they made a call for a Kamada offside, was it? Big up, Dan. Shell's the best team in the league. Clearly not. Don't be silly now. Clearly not. You know the owners of that stadium, they're the best team in the league. What are you predicting, Dan, tonight? What score are you giving us? Still 0-0. 3 minutes gone here, folks. 3 minutes, 12 seconds gone in the 4th minute. Look nasty enough. Throw in for Shells on the right-hand side on the halfway line. Zipped in there. Oh, just a bit too much. Good idea, though. Nice movement and stuff like that. Unlucky. Really unlucky there. Richards. Shells picking up the ball. Winning kind of the second balls at the moment. Getting crowded out, though. throw into Shells on the left-hand side, just across the halfway line. Henry Francis getting stuck in there. So have to be careful there, just a little bit loose and bang on it. Spiels with the ball. Shells have it on the right-hand side. Moving up. Getting space here. Finding space to move the ball. You know? Certainly getting crowded at times if they stay in possession too long. That's the only thing. Got to be careful doing that. Oh, unlucky, just zipped off there. Great idea, though. Shell's very progressive here now in the first 2-3 minutes and stuff like that, trying to set the balls down the wings and stuff like that, finding space when they're in possession, but just maybe holding on to the ball a little bit too long, getting crowded out. Here's Crystal Palace on the attack. Well done, Shells. Ball back with Ledwidge. That's it. Ledwidge up the line with the ball. Just missed it, unlucky. Ball back with Crystal Palace at the back line. Mark Gahey in possession. You often find when you see teams like this playing against each other, when you see like good Premier League teams like Crystal Palace, player just didn't read it, was a lovely pass. When you see them playing against each other, a lot of it, the difference can be the structure and the formation, can't they? And the way in which they always have options and the way they move the ball. Sometimes when you look at the teams, not necessarily just Shells, but I mean, say lesser opposition, if you like, you find it's a bit more laboured. But certainly Shells are looking to moving the ball up the wings here at the moment. Really nice play here on the left-hand side by Shells. Oh, unlucky. Throw into Shells on the left-hand side. Shells moving the ball nicely up the wings, bypassing. They've recognised the danger of Palace's midfield, and they're trying to bypass the midfield with balls down both wings. Very, very clever from Joey O'Brien. I like this tactics tonight. Yes. Lovely. Shells in here on the left-hand side. Ball into the box now. Switch it back. Needed ball into the box there. Didn't just got crowd out a bit. Ball into the box. Taken out by Palace. Another opportunity to do it again. Lost it. Unlucky. Great opportunity there for Shells. Some brilliant play down the left-hand side. Had a great opportunity there to zip a ball into the box. Very unlucky. But looking very positive at the moment, Shells play at the minute now. Getting some real good play down the wings and recycling it. Ball back with Coiler. Here's Francis. Back to Coyle. Back to keeper. Push out, lads. Push out, lads. He's looking to go long again. Long ball straight up the middle for Shells. Got the knock on. Harry Wood just unlucky and reading and stuff like that. But a lovely knock on again. Winning a lot of balls here as well. Shells at the moment. Certainly don't look out of place by any stage. Listening to some of the predictions today and stuff like that. Big up Paulo. Hope you're good, man. 6-0. 6-0 to the Palace. Interesting. I'd love a 1-0, but can't see it. Let's see. WWE Unreal Season 2 release on Netflix 22nd. Yeah, I did a short on it this morning, Keith. Did a short on it this morning, my friend. Shells picking up the ball here again, halfway through Palace's half. Sipping the ball around lovely. Really playing the ball around lovely. Shells just looking, dare I say, even slightly the fresher team, you know. Where Palace have been sublime in the Premier League, they have struggled in Europe. Bang up the wing here on the right-hand side. Cuts in. Beats one. Oh, it was a lovely little ball. Unlucky. Just haven't got that kind of link up yet with Harry Wood, but doing some really clever things there that will come off. Just stick to the task, lads. Playing really, really well. Very impressive from Shells here in the first 8-9 minutes. Getting stuck in here, the air shells. Wharton struggling to get in the game, hasn't really got into the game, dropping a little bit deeper, trying to get into the game. Richards with a long ball there. Keeper aware of it. Eddie and Ketty. Good idea. It was a good ball. So Joey O'Brien would be very happy with the first 9-10 minutes he is saying. One 0 to Roma at the moment against Celtic. Palace fans giving it loads. Boom, boom, boom. Did it say expect rainfall? My God. Is that another statement? Mark Gahey with the ball. Ball into Kamada. Oh, what a ball through. Easy work, easy work. Ball played in. Square to Eche in the box. Unmarked side foot to home. Simple, simple finish. 3 passes, cut them wide open. Wow. And Ketty on the left-hand side, squaring it to Eche to finish it. Lovely ball from Mark Gahey as well. 3 passes, carved shells, wide open. Joey O'Brien looking disappointed. Mark Gahey into Kamada, slips it through to Eddie and Ketty, squares it. Unlucky there from Barrett, was it? Who came across? Yeah, I think it went through Barrett's legs, I think, was it? Yeah. Classy goal. Real classy goal. It's unlucky. It went through his legs and stuff like that. When you square a ball like that and take in the box, it's very hard to keep that out at that level. Beautiful, beautiful finish. Just side foot into the far corner. Beautiful finish. 1-0. 1-0 to Crystal Palace. 1-0 to Crystal Palace. Phenomenal. Has to be offside. Had to be offside. Had to be offside. It's a mile offside. I have to say, like, I mean, they scored the goal and stuff like that, and it was a really, really good goal. 4 clinical passes or 3 clinical passes then in the back of the net. I think, though, Shells could take a lot from that first 10 minutes. They were playing really, really well. I wouldn't be too dejected at this stage now, but again, Palace could turn it on here and then, like, another goal. Shells clearing the decks here again, up the wings. Oh, unlucky Boydie. Just took a bit too long on it, that's all. Wonder was he trying to draw the foul, or you had Richards there on the cover as well. Lacroix, yeah, got wrong side. Sean Boyd getting right side of Lacroix, really struggling. Unlucky. Richards on the cover. Needed that as well. Needed that. That's what I'm saying. There is something in this for Shells. Just stick to the task and stuff like that, Big up, Acers. Hope you're good, bro. 1-0 to Aston Villa against Ball. Yeah, we'll look at these games and see who got the goal. Understand? Who got the goal for Roma? Mancini. Interesting. They did start well, and that was another opportunity there. And they did start well, really, really well. But I mean, Shells have played well as well. Some of their wing play has been really, really good. You know, Aberdeen 1-0 up against Strasbourg. I wasn't even looking at that. I picked out Aston Villa, Celtic, and Shelbourne, obviously. And I was watching Rovers earlier, who lost 2-1, was it? I think. Yeah, so. 16 minutes gone here, folks. Still 1-0 to Crystal Palace. The goal by Eche, squared by Eddie Nketiah. Beautiful through ball from Kamada. It's picked out first of all by Mark Gahey. 3 clinical passes and a beautiful finish. Fitting of a Premier League team on this stage. I'll see, folks, and I get better coverage on that. It's not great. Not great at all. So you can find a better coverage. They did, Acers, yeah, and it was brilliant. The substitutions made a huge difference, didn't they? Massive. Crazy that Cena versus Walter is opening Saturday night's main event. Yeah, but read into that, Acers. Why do you think? Darren was talking to me today about this, and he reckons that the reason they're opening with it is to allow it to happen, and then that something will probably happen at the end of the show. So let me know your thoughts on that as well. Yeah. Big up Breezy, how are you, my man? Acers, Real Madrid board meeting tomorrow. What do you reckon, Romy? What do you reckon, Romy, on that? Is like, are they going to ship them out? Are they going to ship them out, or are they going to? Sounded last night like the players last night. What did you make of last night? I know you lost and all, but what did you make of it? I didn't think the players. I did a short on it today. I didn't think the players had given up playing from. Did you? I know you had a number of injuries. Obviously Mbappe being a huge loss, of course, but did you feel like the players weren't putting in a shift from last night? I thought they did. I thought the talk coming out today was as well that the role of the dice was going to move on to the Alaves game, is it? Is that what the plan is at the moment? I'm not too sure. But yeah, let me know. Let me know, folks. Let me know. Let's see. Can we get this? Dun, dun. So let's see, can we get a better? That looks better. What do we need to do here now? Yeah, let me know, folks. Let me know what you think. Did you feel like the players weren't playing for? So you can get this sorted now. Interesting. What do we reckon, folks? Should have been a panel for Palace? Goes to Mountain and bang comes. Oh, they called it a panel for sure. Absolutely. Let's get through some of these comments. Got away with it. I think it was probably because the ball had moved out of his control, did it? That's the only thing I think of. Strange that the Aviva Stadium isn't hosting the Palace game. It's probably the cost. Cost would have been massive, I'd imagine. Good save down the throat. Good effort from Wharton. Get him out. Fuck, the man is a joke. Get him out. Yeah, I think Klopp is favourite for the Madrid job. I was saying that, yeah. There was talk that he had spoken to the Red Bull group and he had agreed with them that they would let him go if the opportunity came up. What do you reckon, Breezy? How'd you feel? Would you take Jurgen Klopp in there? Vinny is definitely not playing for him. Yeah, he looked a bit off it last night, didn't he? I thought a lot of the players put in quite a shift. Did you not think? No? No, I only got some of it. I didn't get all of it because obviously we were doing the wrestling show as well. But certainly got the last, say, 20 minutes or so. Eddie Nketiah diving for the pen. Yeah, I don't know. He did come across him, though, didn't he? He did come across him. Robbie Keane doing well at his team. He slapped up Rangers tonight. Future Ireland manager. What we saying? Well, yeah, I think definitely we will one day see Robbie Keane as the Ireland manager, but I think it's probably a bit too early at this stage and stuff like that. He's certainly doing a very good job where he is at the moment. You take Kloppy all day, would you? You take Kloppy all day? Yeah, I think so. He certainly What's the difficulty there? What would you say is the main difficulty there, Rolmy? I mean, Klopp. Let's suppose Klopp's going in. Let's suppose you lose to Alaves at the weekend. Can't say it, but let's suppose it happens. What has Klopp got to do when he goes in there to sort things out? Is it just that these boys don't fancy Alonso? Is it that they need an arm around them? Is it that Alonso's kind of that more? Is he a bit more abrupt? You know, Richards here with a throw in on the left hand side. Still 1-0 to Palace, 23 minutes gone. I'm surprised Shells didn't think about bringing the Hardings in to cut out the distance. Look at the distance he has to throw that ball. In the middle of the box, cleared by Shells. Got to win the header now. Oh. Shells more central here with the ball. Puts it out wide now on the left-hand side. Space here to move now. Check back in. Coming inside. Ball switched. Bang on the right-hand side. Breaks down. Comes away. Eddie Nketiah with the ball here on the left-hand side. Switches the ball out for Uche. Need to be really careful on a slippery, dirty pitch like this. Need to be real careful when you're trying to play clever ball. You get shown up for it and stuff like that. Slow down there, racers. Ball into the box, Eddie Nketiah, 2-0. Yeah, 2-0. Comes off the post, Eddie Nketiah finished it 2-0. Tap in, Eddie Nketiah. Palace 2-0 up. Mbappe is a major problem in Madrid playing style. What do you do, Acers? What are you thinking there, Mbappe? Let me know, Breezy. 2-0 Palace, yeah, Eddie and Ketia. Yeah. It's tough, isn't it, when your shell's here now and you know you've worked hard, but just the quality just comes through, isn't it? They need the belief back, Niall. That's mad, isn't it, to think that like a Real Madrid team with all those players in there would lack belief, you know? We need to create new leaders. What is it? What do you reckon it is, Romy? Is it the Modric and the Cruises of this world exiting the building? You know, so you don't have that kind of ruthless kind of drive, you know, that you especially see off a Cruz. You know, let me know. What are you thinking? Who would you create? Who are you looking to create as a new leader? Who are you looking to be the leader? I'm not sure. Would you want Mbappe as your leader? I don't know. Is Mbappe very much the Mbappe show? Is Vinny Jr. very much the Vinny Jr. show? So then who'd you put in there? What are you looking at? Shells on the left-hand side here. After coughing the ball up to Palace again. Palace on the attack again. The overlap is there. Ball into the box. Big block by Coyle there on Nketiah. Crystal Palace now. Moving. Really slick at the moment. Shells all over the camp at the minute. But a great block there by Coyle. Could have been 3-0. Corner incoming. You reckon Jude, eh? You reckon Jude is the new leader? Gee. Interesting. Wharton coming in with a corner. One arm up here. Ball into the box. Flicked on. Head injury. Ledwidge down with what looks like a head injury. Ref called whistle on it. Would you really, Romy, yeah? Jude. Interesting. That's for sure. I'd say Del Boy and Coyle Wash happy for Eddie and Ketia. I wouldn't say Del Boy is. Isn't Del's a Shells lad, isn't he? As far as now, Del's a Shells lad. Don't think Del will be up at Tallaght Stadium tonight cheering on Eddie and Ketia somehow. I wouldn't have thought so. Del Boy's he's an Ireland guy. He's a League of Ireland guy as well. He ain't gonna be cheering on Eddie and Ketia. Good one, Acers. I like that. Dun, dun, dun. Shells need to be careful here now, don't they? I think we pushed Huyson in too quick. He's only a young lad as well, isn't it? Was brilliant last season, remember, in the Prem. He was outstanding. What a move for the boy and stuff like that, yeah. To kind of feel he needed to go in there and kind of not learn his trade, but you know that's somewhat step up apprenticeship, I like to call it, where you're moving into a very big team with a very big league with huge expectations, head and shoulders above what you're used to. And maybe you need to, rather than expose the kids, you need to babysit them through it maybe first, don't you? Yeah, good shout though. Good shout, yeah. But phenomenal player. He's gonna be an unbelievable player, isn't he? Don't know, ref. Shells on the edge of the box, Lacroix pushing Boydie down. Got away with it though. Throw into Shells on the right hand side here. Ball being recycled again. Out on the left hand side. Shells again, kind of moving the ball nicely, but just in that final third, just not linking up, I think. Yeah, you're right, Aces. I just said it. They need to try and keep this at 2. Maybe try and sneak one back maybe before half time. But ball out on the right hand side. Ball slipped through into the box. Into the box. Have a go. Oh, I should have had a go. Oh, unlucky. Good effort. Nice play. Well done, Shells. Nice play. McElroy. Unlucky. Lovely movement though, moving around the box, stuff like that. If I had been running in there, Milan, I would have took that shot, man. I would have took that shot. I would have put my foot right through it. Stevie G style, you beauty. I wouldn't have squared it. I would have absolutely thumped it. Need to get them on target as well and test the keeper. It's a filthy night out there. You could see goalkeeper mistakes here. It's a dirty, wet night. So, yeah, absolutely. Hopefully it doesn't turn into a battering. We don't want to see that. This is all, it's very important as well that this is not always just about Shells, You're advertising the Irish League as well. Oh, unlucky, good idea. Good idea. Nice little chip into the box there. Crystal Palace keeper, Smale collects. Good ideas, though. Good ideas from Shells, I have to say. Really good ideas from Shells. I really enjoyed watching Robbie Keane's team. He has been playing some quality football. Do you think Celtic missed a trick not going full in for him? I think hindsight's a big thing, isn't it? And I see they're already going in on the new guy a little bit as well. Didn't he lose his opener against Hearts or something like that, didn't he? And they're already, I see, was it in the presser they're having a go off? Wasn't he doing the presser for the game tonight against Roma? And they were having a go already. So who knows? Let's see, Yeah, possibly. Yeah, I think Robbie needs to just continue on that path of success and doing well and playing good quality football. It's very hard as well, isn't it, when you go up to Scotland as well? Because it's such, like, the league is just so, it's just, I know other teams have come into the reckoning recently and stuff like that with the drop off between Rangers and Celtic and stuff like that. But really, it's an obligation, isn't it, more than an expectation and stuff like that when you play for either Celtic or Rangers, isn't it? I think anyway. So, Mike Bailey versus Kyle Fletcher. What a match on Dynamite. I didn't see it. Waiting on the boys. Dave will probably drop it. He might get to drop his video tomorrow on Dynamite if he gets to watch it. He's currently in Tallaght Stadium, guys. He is he's the Shells Stadium announcer. And he's also the VAR tonight. He's the VAR announcer tonight, Dave, is as well. So if we do get a VAR incident, it should be interesting. Yeah, but give him all the support. And if you're at the stadium and you see him, go over and say hello and stuff, Do you think Mo starts Saturday, Niall? I don't think so, Daz. Do you? I don't know. Ball after equalising 1-1 against Aston Villa, Aces telling us. What do you think, Daz? Do you think he starts? I don't know. Unless I heard what Gerrard says, so I think unless there's a meeting of minds and there's a bit of an apology and stuff like that. I listened to Slot the other night after the game in the interviews and stuff like that, and I know Seydorf tried to push him on it and stuff like that from the player point of view. I'm not too sure. You seen Slot turning around there saying, should I be the guy? You know what I mean? And I think by saying that as well, I think Slot was alluding to the fact that maybe this wasn't all him. So I'm not too sure. What do you think, Daz? Do you think he starts? Do you think he starts, or do you think he should start? I don't know. I said when this all broke originally, I thought maybe we might have seen the last of Mo Salah playing in a Liverpool shirt. Obviously, after the Brighton game, he's heading off to the AFCON. I don't know. And I think until some of this is sorted out, I don't think romance should be the thing. Because the thing about it is, Brighton are a very tough team against us. We always have trouble playing against Brighton. I'll be doing a preview tomorrow on it. But we always have a very tough time against Brighton in terms of football and stuff like that. They always play really, really well against us. And the problem is as well, what Mo Salah are we going to get? Are we putting Mo Salah on just because it's his last swan song? Or are we putting Mo Salah on because we think he can really affect the game? The last 10 games will tell you that probably not. And then the thing about it is, the one thing we've said about Slot over the last 2 to 3 months is every time that he finds a formula and it works. And I know the other night wasn't overly pretty, and I know it came down to, the penalty and the Canate goal should have stood and all this kind of thing and all, but I don't know if I'm Arne Slot with what's on the line at the moment, and his own job is on the line as well. Whether you start ripping up the form book again and you start changing things again, if you found a solution. I thought, even though it was a tad bit blunt the other night as well, I thought a lot of players had played a lot better. Ball in, off the bar. Oh, Palace should have been 3-0 up there. Bar off the crossbar. Unlucky. Off the crossbar, came back out, and Nketiah just wide. Richards with a beautiful header, climbing above Shells. So unlucky. Pile of players there. Unlucky. Hits the crossbar, comes back out, and Nketiah at the post. Unlucky, just wide. Should have been 3-0 up. Should have been 3-0 up. This is starting to look now like Palace are just too strong. They're oozing kind of strength in possession as well, and out of possession. Ball out on the right-hand side to Richards. Coming into the box here. Flicked header. On the left-hand side. Cross back in. Yeah, but that's yeah, I don't know. It's really difficult about whether really difficult about whether he should play or not. It's a huge decision, and it's so tough, isn't it, Daz, as well? Like so tough. Palace with the ball here, centre, switched out. What a goal. What a goal. Jeremy Pino, what a goal. Pino, what a goal. Beautiful. Goes up by two players there, just buried it into the left-hand corner. Beautiful goal. 3-0 now to Palace. This could be any score now. 36 minutes, 37 minutes gone. This is this could get real tough for Shells, folks. Real tough for Shells. Let us know, Daz. Yeah, let us know what you think. Would you play him? And we'll see. We'll go through. 1-1, yeah, absolutely. Breezy's in. Romy, Celtic need a big January window. They've been hit bad with injuries. They have been hit bad with injuries. But they haven't played well this season. They haven't played well this season at all. You know, where's Dazzler tonight, Daz? He's off. He's entertaining. He has a bit of a dinner party for visitors and stuff like that and all. And he was going to rush to get on the podcast. And I said, look, just leave it. Enjoy it. You know what I mean? We can do. I'll be dropping my Premier League predictions in the morning. I have a few beat the bookie bets here for you at half time. So there was no need. Enjoy it when you can. You know, it is that time. It's Christmas. It is time to be spending time with your family. Hey, so Salah not going to be in the squad if FSG should let Salah know that he's not welcome in Anfield on Saturday. As much as what's gone on, Acers, is that harsh? Is that harsh? I mean, he is a legend of the club as well, and we can't forget that. I think what he said was out of order. You've seen my videos on it and stuff like that. I totally agree with Stevie and all and stuff like that. But I also agree as well, this has to be sorted. This can't end this way. We can't have legends of our club like Mo Salah. And Mo Salah, we don't throw legends around lightly. Mo Salah is a legend of Liverpool Football Club. There's no doubt about it. You can't let legends leave go out the door that way. You can't. You have to try and be the bigger person, and you have to try and smooth this and figure it out. Whether that warrants him coming on, whether it warrants him playing at the weekend, I don't know. But certainly it needs to be smoothed in a way that, like, even if Mo Salah goes to the AFCON, lights it up, and even if he gets a move to Saudi or wherever it is in January, we don't want Mo Salah going off, and then we don't want him talking about the club in a certain way that just tarnishes everything he's done, because he's been absolutely phenomenal. And we know what way this is going to go if there's that negative chatter after the fact that this doesn't get resolved. I think it was like, it looked very orchestrated and it looked very contrived. Because he just seemed like, he was talking off a script nearly, because it was so relaxed. You see him talking about it. There wasn't a huge amount of emotion. So that's all I would say about it. You know what I mean? So, but like, we'll have to see what happens. We'll have to see what happens, because we just don't know what's going to happen. Even though I don't rate Salah as a manager, he handled the situation with Salah well in a professional manner. He did. But again, we don't know how it was being handled in the background, and we don't know whether, Slot could be very professional in front of the cameras. He could be an absolute bastard in the background. We don't know, because we're not privy to it. You know what I mean? And we've seen, listen, we've seen a lot of people are talking about Mo and this and the other. We've seen this with Mo before. We've seen the blow-ups with Mane. We've seen the stuff with Klopp, if we speak, there'll be fire. We've seen when he goes into these huddles and stuff like that and into these player areas and stuff, when something has to be said, when there's a contractual thing or something going on. I'd like to know how the club has let him down. I'd like to know how the club has thrown him under the bus. You know what I mean? There is no doubt Shell's on the attack here. Oh, unlucky. Good effort. Good effort. Took a touch, corner for Shells. McEnroy going over, I think, to take the corner, is it? This could be a chance now. If they could get a goal back here before half time, just give them that little bit of belief going in, 3-0 at the moment. Tough. But yeah, I think on so many levels this needs to be sorted out, you know what I mean? Ball in. Oh, unlucky. Crystal Palace on the attack here now, pushing bodies forward here now. Shells under a bit of pressure here. Got the man over on the left-hand side, slipped in. Little flick. Oh! Unlucky. Could have had a few. So yeah, I don't know how easy it is to resolve this. I'd like to know what Mo Salah, like saying that the club threw you under the bus, that's a serious statement. That's a statement that's very hard to come back from unless it's clarified. And I don't know what promises they made him that they haven't kept. And I don't think anyone, look, we know it's a very difficult position we're in. We know we're going through a real tough time, And I don't think anyone is just pinning this on Mo Salah. I think Mo Salah seems to think he's the one being scapegoated. And the bullshit that came out today, I don't know if you read that bullshit today with Wirtz, what he said about Florian Wirtz and stuff like that. Absolutely shocking stuff. If that's quoted or if that's the case, that is absolutely shocking. Daz, you think he gets 45 on Saturday? Tell us this. Do you think he warrants 45? Or do you think because it might be potentially his last game and he's leaving, you think he should get 45? Do you think he warrants 45? Do you think he warrants a place in the squad even? I don't know. I love Mo Salah. Mo Salah's my guy. He's right up there on that wall there, topless, in the Liverpool echo after we won. After we became champions. So, you know what I mean? I love Mo Salah. I wake up every morning, get out of bed. Mo Salah staring back off the wall at me. So, that's how much I love the guy and stuff like that. But again, I always say, Wharton into the ball in. Shells to clear it. Oh, heavy chest. Clear it. That's shocking. Should never do that. Pulled it out of play, giving them a corner. This could be very dangerous now. I think Robbie Keane needs to gain more experience as a manager and don't show him into a big club. It might be too much for him at the moment. Yeah, I think most people would agree with that, but I think definitely a future one. At Aces, Sting was in the crowd last night, front row. There we go. Wonder did he buy a ticket? Shelbourne Palace 3-0. Yeah, absolutely. And Roma now 2-0 up against Celtic. Not good. How long do the Celtic fans give this new guy as well? You know what I mean? Corner coming in here from Palace on the left-hand side. Good clearance. Well done. Under a lot of pressure there. Kind of sliced a bit there. Back into Shell's keeper's hands. Any bets for the weekend? I do, Daz. I'm going to give them to you half time, yeah? I'm going to give them to you half time. I did do them today and then I was doing a few bits for the show. I hadn't set it up and all. And Darren rang me this morning and said he might have a problem with tonight. And I said, perfect. If you need it off, it's not a problem. He says, yeah, Daz. He was there because his son was resting on the show before Dynamite began. Interesting. It's mad when you see the legacy, isn't it? When you see that second and third generation coming through in the wrestling and how they get it. You look at Braun Breaker. Oh, lucky. Yeah, that's good call. Bring it back. No, take your time. Still a minute to go here in the half, so can Shells get something back? That's ridiculous. You should be throwing that into the box, lads. Come on, you don't recycle it with a minute to go at half time. You had a free kick there for Shells inside the Palace half. They decided to recycle it back across the defence. Should have been putting players up there and put that into the box. That's a mistake. That is a mistake. Palace now moving the ball around lovely, making Shells having to work so hard. Joey O'Brien might have to make a few changes because these boys, they might gas a little bit, you know. They haven't been playing a whole lot of matches recently and stuff like that and all, so they've been training well and stuff, but whereas Palace are so match fit, I would say, you know what I mean? Right in the height of the season at the moment, right in the trenches. 2 minutes we're going to get at the end of this half, folks. 2 minutes. Still 3-0 to Palace. 2 minutes of added on time. Ball out to the left-hand side. Left open. Good save. Well done. Boy Sosa, was it? It's a cracking shot. Yeah, Sosa was a cracking shot. Good save. Had a boy out of twice, but throw in 2 Shells here on the left-hand side, just inside Crystal Palace's half. Let's see, can they do it here? They're going to have time. They've just over a minute here, minute 15 to do something. Need to get up the other end, lads. Try and put something on the board. When they've gotten the ball, Shells, they have had a little bit of joy down this right-hand side. You know? Unlucky with that. Say that might run it out now. Easy even in these conditions, isn't it, at times where, like, if you're 3-0 up, you'll find that extra gear, you'll find that extra wind. You don't tend to die away. Glasner might make changes as well and stuff, you know what I mean? He might want to keep the boys a little bit fresh for the weekend because we've seen the Thursday, Saturday, Sunday conundrum where they can just affect your league form, and they've been very, very good in the league. They'll want that to continue, Crystal Palace. So we shall see. Well, Glasner made changes at 3-0 up. I reckon if he got another goal here, he'd obviously make a couple of changes because another goal here would absolutely destroy Crystal Palace with the ball on the left-hand side. Ball into the box. Lovely slip pass. Oh, beautiful play again. Ball still in play. Half time. 3-0 Crystal Palace, folks. Tough on Shells. They were somewhat plucky, but the quality comes through, doesn't it? When you see the passing on the quality. Acers. But if Salah stands during the game is major distraction. If Liverpool are conceding goals and supporters won't be happy. If team is losing, bring negative atmosphere. So FSG. So that might be the case. The thing about it is, Acers, you're getting that reaction anyway, aren't you? If things like once we drop a goal and stuff like that, we've seen what's happened. The atmosphere has become a little bit toxic anyway. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's kind of a weird one. It's a conundrum for them because you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, aren't you? So I don't know what the ideal situation is. You know. Yeah. So. Yeah, let me go through. I'll go through and I'll give you the bets that I did. Well, let's see, can I pull them up here? Sometimes it takes a little bit of time for them to come up because they're screenshots. Let me know if you are doing bets as well, folks. Let me know. Drop them in there and let me know what you're doing and stuff. We can have a little bit of a beat the bookie here at half time and stuff like that. But as you can see, 3-0 to Crystal Palace at the moment against Shells. Shells struggling somewhat. At times a little bit plucky. Just missing that little bit of quality. So wait till I see. What did I do? Where are they? It's mad how many pictures builds up on your phone, isn't it, within a day? I was doing so much stuff today. I was putting up together thumbnails and all sorts of stuff and all. And you're downloading different images and stuff like that. And then I got the charger fitted for the new car, the electric charger, the Zappy charger and stuff like that. And I had to send off a load of paperwork and all to get some of the grant money back for it and stuff like that as well. So everything just takes time, you know. Let's see, can I get it here just on screenshots? There they are. Right. The first one I did was I did a kind of a combination on this one. I normally do to score or assist, but I did a four-way here, and I did 2 to score or assist, and 2 to score or to be shown a card. Okay, so we started off to score or assist. Chelsea versus Everton, the boy and Joy, who's been awesome for Everton this season, Ilman and Doy, to score or assist. Liverpool versus Brighton, I did Dominic Szoboszlai to score or assist. And then West Ham versus Aston Villa to score or to be shown a card. Lucas Paqueta coming back off the ban. And then Crystal Palace versus Man City, I did to score or to be shown a card. Bernardo Silva. So that was that bet, and that bet pays out. What was it again? I think it was about 62 to 1. I think it was. It was big odds anyway. Okay. Then I did result and bout to score, Darren's favourite bet. So I did 4 in that. I did the first one I started out, I went with a draw, Chelsea versus Everton at the Bridge. I went result and bout to score, and I went for a draw at 7 to 2. Everton playing really well at the moment and stuff like that. Chelsea a little bit indifferent. Problems at the back there and stuff like that. The kind of, you see the team he even picked there in Europe and stuff like that. Just seems some weird decisions at times from Maresca and stuff like that. And trying to find that solution, that stability at the back is really struggling for him and stuff, you know. So then I did Liverpool and Brighton. I did Liverpool and both to score. I think hopefully Liverpool this weekend. I know it's a difficult game and stuff like that and all. Brighton have been indifferent this season, especially on the road. And I'm just hoping Liverpool can build on the Inter Milan result. And I know it's been a false dawn a few times this season and stuff like that. The ability to perform in Europe in a different kind of, you know, under a different atmosphere, that kind of thing and all, and then come back to Anfield and just falter. But I'm hoping that's nearly 2 to 1 for that. Liverpool and both to score, Liverpool versus Brighton. I think the key thing, if it's going to be result and both to score for us to win, is I think we need to score first. And probably second, maybe, looking at it's going at the moment. And then I went result and both to score. Crystal Palace versus Man City. I went Man City and both to score, because I think Palace coming back out of Europe, Man City can handle it much better. And they had made a few changes and stuff like that as well. With Palace, although they're cruising tonight as well, the boys will still feel it in the legs. You know, heavy pitch, horrible weather and stuff like that and all. Even when you're cruising, you can be boy out on the night. But we've seen with Palace, when they come back out of that European situation, struggle sometimes a little bit, but we'll see. Doing really, really well in the league, though. And then the last one was result and bout to score, Sunderland versus Newcastle. And I went with Sunderland. I think Sunderland up there at Stadium of Light. Sunderland till I die. Massive game at the weekend. What a derby. Really looking forward to seeing how this pans out. And this will be a good test for Sunderland. I wouldn't say an acid test, but because it's a derby as well, and you're looking at Newcastle there, who are going to be in around that top 6, top 7 and stuff like that, depending on how it pans out. I know they've struggled a little bit, but they have found a little bit of form. I think Newcastle, I think Sunderland could pip this one, and the bragging rights will be absolutely rife. But I think a lot of football fans will be tuning into that game, won't they? Sunderland versus Newcastle. I'm sure the atmosphere is going to be unbelievable. I know already those super Sunderland fans up there are already going to be prepping for this. And I know this is probably the first game they looked when the fixture list came out. Sunderland versus Newcastle at home at the Stadium of Light. I'm sure they were all over. Going to be an absolute sellout packed. But that was 4. So you have a draw on the Chelsea Everton with both to score. Liverpool to pip Brighton and both to score. Man City to beat Palace and both score. Down Selhurst Park. Not an easy place to go either. And Man City at times have come a little bit unstuck against these teams in recent times. And Sunderland to beat Newcastle. Sunderland to beat Newcastle and both to score is 5 to 1 alone, folks. And even City is over 2 to 1 to beat Palace and both to score as well. So there's some good odds there. Liverpool just shy of 2 to 1. And as I said, the draw at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea versus Everton, both to score, and the draw is 7 to 2. So some good value there this weekend. That accumulator pays 263 to 1. Now there is some ones that are a little bit out there, you know what I mean? Liverpool versus Brighton, we tend to come a bit unstuck against Brighton, so that could be a little bit iffy. And obviously Sunderland beating Newcastle will be kind of more of an emotion thing than anything else. But let us know if you are having a bet at the weekend. There's the 2 that I put together, so let me know your thoughts on it. Let me take in some comments here. My mouse just wakes up. There we go. Wake up, mouse. Celtic 0, Roma 3. Yeah, rough night for Celtic tonight as well, isn't it? At home as well. I mean, now Roma are a good side, but Celtic with a lot of problems there at the moment. I haven't gauged it either. Has anyone looked at it? What has been the reception to the new manager coming in? Obviously, they were screaming for change. But what's it been look like? I know he's in there. I think he lost the first game, didn't he, against Hearts, and now he's losing tonight 3-0 at home against Roma. So I'm sure the atmosphere will be a little bit nervous, to say the least. Acers, looking forward to watching Sunderland versus Newcastle on Sunday. Yeah, it's going to be a belter, isn't it? It's going to be a belter. I'm really looking forward to that as well. Sometimes you look forward to these games more than watching your own team, don't you? Especially at the moment, but we shall see. But I have to say, I was a little bit more positive, just a little bit, based on the performance against Inter Milan. I've seen a lot of players there putting it in. You know what I mean? I didn't think the players. I was concerned about how the players might play on the back of the Mo Salah situation, and I was concerned about that. But I seen the likes of Dom and McAllister and Gravenberch all putting in a shift. Robbo was unbelievable. Joe Gomez up and down the wing was unbelievable. You know, we looked a lot more solid at the back. You know, Konate even looked much better than in previous times, stuff like that. So I was buoyed a little bit by that. What have you got here? United will drop more points on Monday night. Drop more points on Monday night. They won. They won on Monday. They didn't drop more points on Monday. They battered Wolves. I haven't really looked heavily at the fixtures. I'm going to do it in the morning. See what it looked like. So Monday night, what have we got? Man United versus Bournemouth. Do you think, Acers? Do you think? Bournemouth without a win in 6? I think it is, isn't it? They're not on a good run of form at the moment, Bournemouth. So I wouldn't be too sure about that. I wouldn't be backing against Man United. The home form has been really, really good as well. I wouldn't be betting against Man United at Old Trafford with Bournemouth out of form and stuff like that. No, I know Semenyo had that goal ruled out and stuff like that. No, but I don't know. I wouldn't be betting against that. I think for me, I think that's a stretch. But that's just me. Let me know what you think. Drop in as well, folks. If you want to give your predictions for the Premier League, drop in. I'll do the prediction show in the morning, and I'll do the quick fire predictions and put them up and stuff like that and all. With us not having the usual show tonight. But yeah, let me know. Let me know if you want to let me know your predictions. No problem. Just where am I? Just want to get this game back on. I want to go and have a wee as well. Where are we? There we go. Yeah, tough night so far for Shells. Look plucky at times, but certainly struggling a little bit. Someone needs to design a real good stand, don't they, for phones? I use the OtterBox covers, but the stands are always a little bit ropey on them. They're not as strong. Big up, Joanne. How are you? What am I doing here? Hope you're good. Hope you were good. Yes, let's see. Let's see what this second half brings. Certainly going to be interesting. United will get a draw against Bournemouth. You mean Bournemouth get a draw against United? You know, the owners would be on United to go out and perform, wouldn't be on Bournemouth to go out and perform. Right, folks, listen, I'll be back to you in 2 minutes. I'm just going to take a little bit of a toilet break, and then we'll be back for the second half. Shelbourne versus Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace 3-0 up at the moment. Could have been 4 or 5. Couple of moments for Shelbourne, but going to be, I believe, probably a tough night at the office. Catch you in about 2 or 3 minutes. Right, folks, welcome back, and we are underway again here. 47 minutes gone, still 3-0. Joanne, I'm okay. Lost 3.5 pounds this week, 8 pounds in 3 weeks. That's amazing, Joanne. That's amazing. Oh, referee, straight for the card. Straight for the card, no? Yeah, yellow card for Coiler, was it? I think it was Coiler. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Wasn't anywhere near him. Took him big time. That's fabulous, Joanne. Fair play. Fair play. What's the target, Joanne? Have you set a target for by Christmas and stuff like that? And then what can you do at Christmas? Can you slightly overindulge a little bit then over the Christmas because you've dropped a few pounds and stuff like that and all? Or what's the target? It's Will Hughes, isn't it, with the baller? Yeah. Good move. He's a serious baller, Will Hughes, as well, isn't he? Got the job him and Wharton did on us on Anfield at that game that I went to 2 seasons ago with Darren. Mental. Shelbourne going to be made to work very, very hard in this half. Switching it real quick, Will Hughes. A point is worth €150,000. Is that what they just said there in commentary? 150 grand for a point. Wow. Joanne, I'm going to be fairly good over Christmas. I don't want all my hard work going to pot. My target at the moment is 14 stone, but we'll set another one. Very good. It's always good to set goals, Joanne, isn't it, as well? It keeps you motivated and stuff like that and all, but I think a little bit, if you could let the hair down a little bit over the Christmas, you know what I mean, and then get back on the bike, as they say, you know what I mean, because it's a Palace here on the edge of the box, switched out onto the left-hand side, ball coming in, cleared by Shells. Working really, really hard. Shells very, very deep now. Will Hughes is just such an engine, isn't he? Just such an engine for Palace. Will Hughes on the edge of the box, zipped in. Keeper gathers. Blocked. SA. Very dangerous again. Palace on the edge of the box again. Crowded out by Boyd, though. Fair play. Yeah, that's a free kick. Has to be a free kick, ref. Come on. Will Hughes, ball, edge of the box. Out to the ball zipped in. Corner to Crystal Palace. That definitely was a free kick. He body checked him. Poor decision there by the ref. It has to be obstruction, ref. Has to be obstruction. It's insane. Don't forget, folks, make sure you're liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel as always. And hope you're enjoying all the content going out. Ball in. Oh, beautiful header just on. Landed on the roof of the roof of the goal. Unlucky. This is what sickens me when I look at this, that we didn't get Gahey over the line. Gahey so powerful in the air as well, and imagine going up and having Gahey, Konate, and Virgil van Dijk attacking those corners. We might have a lot more joy from some of those corners that we reduce that we get nothing from. You know. Yeah, Joanne, drop them in there. Gives your predictions for the weekend. You went with 2-1 Everton. I went with a draw. I think in the bet that I did, I went with a draw. I went both to score and a draw for that one. Liverpool 2-2. I went for Liverpool just to shade it, and Anfield 2-1. I'll give you my predictions if you will. I'll try and stick them as well because I have a prediction show tomorrow. But hopefully I won't have changed my mind overnight. Burnley 1, Burnley 0, Fulham 3. I think Burnley will probably score because they're at home, but I think Fulham will still win. Arsenal 2, Wolves 0. Only the 2, Joanne. Only the 2. I would have thought there'd be a lot more than that. I thought this could be an absolute battering for Wolves. Again, it depends on what way Arteta approaches the game, and I know a couple of players have come back, a couple of players still out and stuff like that as well, but I think I'll batter Wolves. Palace City 2-2. I went for City just to shade it. I think City will shade it probably 2-1. And only because Palace are getting the one less day of rest. Even though they're pretty much cruising through this match, you're still putting in the yards, and it's still a horrible evening. But I think City might just shade this. I know it's at Selhurst Park as well, tough place to go, but I think they might just shade it. Forest 2, Spurs 0. Forest tonight, did you see them, Joanne? Crucial substitutions, and at the death winning a 2-1. Big win for Nottingham Forest. They'll be buoyed by that. But Spurs away form has been better. Their home form has been horrific, hasn't it? They've been much better on the road, where there's obviously less pressure on them in terms of the fans and stuff like that and all. So I don't know. There might be something in Spurs for this. And Spurs again. Oh, so unlucky, Shells. So unlucky. Beautiful ball into the box from McEnroy. So unlucky. Boydie. So unlucky. There's a couple of good guys in there. Beautiful ball in as well. Switched in, switched back out again. Ball played in. Might have been offside. Very unlucky. Much better. Great effort. I'm not sure whether that was cross or where he was trying to just angle that into the far corner. But yeah, I don't know. Spurs, they won well. They won well as well, didn't they? Tillemans just scored for Aston Villa back in front. Yeah, I don't know. I think Spurs might edge that. Sunderland 2, Newcastle 1. Yeah, that was my prediction for that one. Sunderland at the Stadium of Light's going to be absolutely electric. It's one of the games this season I've been really looking forward to. West Ham again, 3-1 to Aston Villa. I know Villa are doing really well. They're on fire at the moment. They have had a number of problems when they've come back off European toys and stuff like that. And obviously with West Ham having the extra rest and Nuno with a full week to prep them and stuff like that and all. I don't know. I'm not too sure. Thinking a draw. Thinking 2-2. So I'm thinking on that one. Brentford and Leeds. Big game this, isn't it? Big game. Ball into the box. Oh! Good save. Ketia. I think that was a good save. Yeah. Corner to Palace here coming up on the right hand side. Eddie and Ketia with lovely movement, just attacking really tight angle. Spale making the save. Very good. Snapshot, close range as well. Yeah. See, this is what I'm talking about. See the strength there, like even on the replay there from Eddie and Ketia, you can see the strength within the Palace side compared to the Shells players. You know, big difference. Yeah, Brentford Leeds, Joanne. What am I thinking on this? Well, see this corner coming in first. Corner in. Oh, how did he miss? How did Richards miss there? Absolute sitter of a header at the back post. Free header at the back post, just glanced it off, and probably the weather conditions. If that's a dry night, if that's a dry Thursday night football over in the UK, so that he absolutely buries that. He'll be sick over that one. That was a nailed on goal. Should have been 4-0. Should have been 4-0. Shells with the kick out. Goes out. Throw into Palace on the left-hand side. Ball back with Richards. Some graft Richards puts in, isn't it? What a shift. I'd love to know what his kilometres are like. He puts in a serious shift, that Richards lad. Brentford, I think a draw. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw on that one, Joanne, I think. Hope I can remember these tomorrow now for the predictions. And Man United 2, Bournemouth 1. Yeah, Bournemouth really struggling. Now winning 6, isn't it? I think it's now winning 6 for Bournemouth as far as I know. And United home form very, very good. And had a really good result on Monday night against Wolves as well. As you would expect, Palace here with the ball on the left-hand side. Ball into the box. Oh, just didn't catch it clean. Getting another opportunity. This could have been 5 or 6 at this stage now. Looks like Shells, even though they had that opportunity there the other end a few minutes ago, looking now a bit leggy, a bit tired now, looking like it's really, really tough. Crystal Palace zipping the ball around now, lovely creating chances and getting room in the box. Double substitution coming in. We expected this. Had to make changes. They were looking a tad bit leggy. Ledwidge going off. Wilson coming on. Double substitution coming on here. Martin off. Kelly on. Fresh legs going on from Joey O'Brien here. Let's see what can happen here. Just feels very difficult for Shells at the moment, doesn't it? Just the cleverness of the passing and the little give and goes from Crystal Palace and stuff like that as well. Man United, Bournemouth, I expect Man United to win that. Probably a little bit more comfortable than that as well. Unless Bournemouth can rediscover their form. They have struggled. There's no doubt they have struggled. There has been a drop-off at Bournemouth there. Yeah, so we'll see. Interesting. Do you see Liverpool getting Anton Semenyo in January? I think Mark Gahey deal is a done in January for Liverpool. I don't know, Keith. I'm not too sure. There's a lot of people very interested in Mark Gahey now. It kind of feels like because it didn't happen in the summer, have a number of other people enter the conversation now. Like, I often wonder, how are Chelsea not all over that Mark Gahey deal? You know what I mean? Easy move. Doesn't have to be huge money in terms of Chelsea's world. You know, they're crying out for defenders. Shells on the attack here down the right-hand side. Lacroix, yeah, free kick. Easy stuff. Clever again. Unlucky from Kelly. Unlucky. But yeah, I think it's going to be much more difficult, Keith, in January. I think in the summer we should have got it done. I think you will have Chelsea interested. There's no doubt Man City are going to be interested as well. And dare I say, Real might be interested as well. Now, I don't know. Maybe I know Gahey in the summer, he was saying he only wanted to go to Liverpool, blah, 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 blah. Maybe that has changed as well. I'm not too sure. You know, with the situation that Liverpool finds himself in now at the moment, a little bit all disjointment, players trying to settle in and stuff like that. Does Mark Gahey want to go into that melting pot as well? A lot of questions over the manager's position and all that kind of stuff. So it doesn't look as pretty as it did in the summer prior to the season kicking off, but let's see what happens. But certainly Mark Gahey is a player we should be definitely going for. And Semenyo, pending on what happens with Salah. And we'll know over the next few days where that whole Salah thing lies, you know. Should be very interesting. Chelsea have a policy of only going for players under 23. That's what I heard. Yeah, but they're going to have to change that because that's not going to work. Palace, corner, Crystal Palace. Palace on the attack there down the right-hand side. Very, very good covering again. I think it was Barrett on the cover, was it? Am I right? I think it was Barrett on the cover. But yeah, very, very good block. Yeah, so I understand that, but I think Chelsea at some stage are going to have to break that slightly and get that. The one thing they're lacking at the moment is that experience of having winners in there, that core group in there and stuff like that. They have unbelievable players. Palace on the attack here still. Edge of the box. Very clever fee. Very, very clever fee. Switch it back. Recycle it again. Palace still on the left-hand side here. Ball into being switched across into the box. No one read the run there. Shelbourne clear for a throw-in on the right-hand side to Palace. I don't see them sticking with that whole under 23 thing. I think they flogged that too much now at this stage, and I think they need. If you think of Chelsea at the back here, what are they missing? Apart from the obviously stability, it's a bit too fluid at the back four and stuff because of injuries, and Fofana trying to stay fit and stuff like that, and players like Towson and very other Badashile and stuff like that, probably just not up to that level. Probably okay in terms of a squad, but not up to the actual level of what you need to really throw down a title challenge or whatever it is. And I think they're missing, the likes of that Thiago Silva in there, that experienced head to make those key decisions at key times. Now obviously not at his age and stuff like that, but maybe a younger version of Thiago Silva. But they can't keep on operating with this average age of 23 or 24 or whatever it is, and not have that level of experience in there that you need, because sometimes what they do is they call on their experience, the Reece Jameses of this world and stuff like that, but there's just not enough of it there, isn't there? And at times, as good as Enzo Fernandez is, and obviously Moise Caicedo, sometimes they just slightly drift out. If you look at Enzo, maybe in the last 3 or 4 games, just slightly drifted out at times, stuff like that, and you need to lean on those guys. Obviously, Cole Palmer coming back in will make a huge difference for them, and should do. But then on the other side there, you have a toss-up between Garnacho and Gittins kind of thing, and it's kind of like, each player is just a different shade of grey, really, and you just need, they needed, rather than going out, I think they spent nearly 100 million on Gittins and on Garnacho. Really what they needed to go out is really go out and buy quality in terms of what we sometimes call needle movers, isn't it? You need some needle movers coming into your side as well to blend in there and carry that opportunity to break that youth in there and stuff like that, And I think Chelsea just at times haven't acted like the big club that they are in terms of signing needle movers at times. Caicedo obviously was a very good signing, obviously Enzo was a very good signing, but when you think on that left-hand side there, probably needed to try and go for a Rodrigo, rather than kind of a Garnacho and a Gittins. And if you had 100 million to spend, I think at times too much as well, they focus an awful lot on the leveling up and the money balling situation and all. Shelbourne on the break here, 3 versus 3. Ball played through, didn't make the run, unlucky. Gahey too strong. Ball back with the keeper, clears down the right-hand side. Ball with Crystal Palace again. Free kick tug there. But yeah, they just don't level up enough, I think. And it's probably difficult for Maresca as well. And sometimes he's at fault themselves. Because sometimes we often talk that, like, if you didn't have so many options, you mightn't tinker with it as much. Sometimes I look at Maresca's tinkering, and at times it reminds me a little bit of Ranieri, the way Ranieri used to tinker with teams, stuff like that. Like, I often think Ranieri did so well with Leicester because they basically fuck all options and he couldn't really tinker with them. It was literally the same 11 week in, week out, same bench week in, week out. So this is where they took the whole tinkering out of Ranieri's situation, and that's why he was so successful, I think, at Leicester. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think they used a whole lot of players that season, to be honest. But I think sometimes when you have too many options, and I mentioned on the podcast, on one of the shows last week or something, that I think what's happened with Slot at times as well is, at times maybe he's had too many options in certain positions and he was trying to figure out what he wanted or trying to try different things, stuff like that. And then the areas where we needed options where players weren't performing, and this is a bone of contention with Salah at the moment, because a lot of Salah being dropped, a lot of people are talking about, but what about Kanate and what about this, that, and the other? Eddie and Ketty are getting subbed off here, folks. Has put in a decent shift tonight, that's for sure. But yeah, I think with Slot, I think at times he had too many options. I think he couldn't figure out between the midfield and the forward kind of conundrum that he had there with some of the options he had available. Nketiah coming off. Definitely there's some big game coming up against Man City at the weekend. Nathaniel Klein coming on, is it? Klein, yeah, absolutely. Big old Klein. But yeah, I think that's mainly the problem. I think. Let me know your thoughts in the chat as well, Maresca. You look at even the game. You look at even the game there during the week in the Champions League, and you see what's sitting on the bench versus what he puts out on the pitch, and you're kind of going. It just seems weird to me. Like I'm looking from the outside in, I'm thinking I wouldn't be picking that type of player kind of mix and stuff like that in the Champions League game. It would be very different for me. Barrow with a ball through here, just runs out of play. Joey looks just a little bit frustrated and stuff like that and all. It's just not, even when they get an opportunity to attack at times, it's just not coming off them. Just a poor night at the office. But yeah, I don't know. Good point though, Keith. Good debatable point. I think we need to go after Semenyo and try and get Mark Gahey deal sorted. We need to do something in January to get back into top four. We're not that far off it, Keith. I don't think we need. I think in terms of consistency, we have a problem. But in terms of points, if you look at points, we're not a million miles off top four. So I don't think, while we're kind of irate and a bit panicky at the moment with the way the results are going because we can't find that consistency. I'd also, Gahey, I think, yes. But I think we need to be careful because we've put a bunch of players in there that are new players and they haven't kind of settled in yet. And we haven't figured out how to settle them in. And obviously with this upheaval and stuff going on in the background, everything else going on, it's been a bit difficult to settle them in. And then you hear this stuff coming out today between Salah and Wirtz and stuff like that and all. And is it any wonder that these boys have found it a bit difficult to settle in if that's the thinking there, you know what I mean? Salah apparently having a real problem with Wirtz being called the future of Liverpool. I don't know why. It's just fucking stupid, like, you know what I mean? It's just, again, it just cements our thinking on what's been going on there, you know what I mean? Very, very interesting to see what happens there. But I think we need to be careful about dropping more players into the melting pot until we figure out what we're doing with the players that we have. Because otherwise it could really go to shit if, like imagine you bring Semenyo in. And they're talking about bringing Semenyo in potentially as that replacement for Salah if Salah goes, or bring him in anyway. And I think as well we need to be careful of that. While Semenyo has played on the right-hand side for Bournemouth and played really, really well, most of his success, Shelbourne on the edge of the box here, ball getting shot around, pinball stuff here at the moment. Recycling the ball in here at the moment. Shelbourne, they just look a bit leggy at the moment. I don't think boys just look a bit tired. I think we need to be careful in terms of dropping players in. But yeah, with Semenyo, I think it's just most of his good work we've seen for Bournemouth. He's done an awful lot of good work on the left, and he's also done an awful lot of good work when he cuts into the centre and stuff like that. Those areas tend to be quite congested for us. So the issue is, what are we thinking on the left-hand side there? Or are we thinking of Semenyo on the left-hand side? Or are we thinking ball into the box? Good save, Palace keeper. Real good save. Could be dodgy in those conditions. It's just sometimes when you buy these players and, it seems like it's a good idea. And then when you fit them in and you kind of figure out where have they done their best work and how crowded is that in there. Go over that left-hand side. Gakpo's over there at the moment. Diaz exit the building. Palace here. How did that not go in? Double post from SA. How did that not go in? Unbelievable. That looked nailed on 4-0. Nailed on. Wow. But yeah, I just think we need to try and figure out over the next 3 to 4 weeks before the window opens. Can we get the guys that are there at the moment humming with a bit of stuff at the moment? Palace in again. Oh, over again. This could have been 8. This could have been 8. HA. Just falling back on us of that. He should be burying that. That should have been 2 goals and 2 really quick succession there. Lovely cut in. sold the player lovely there, had the goal on his keeper. In fairness to the keeper made himself look really, really big there, in fairness. And he just slipped back, I think, just as he made contact and stuff like that. Very unlucky. Not that he buries that into the far corner, but hats off to the Shelbourne keeper as well. Made himself really, really big in front of the player as well. Richards again winning the header. Slipped in, Shells in here on the run. Ball just ran away from him. This is what I mean when they've gotten into those opportunities. They've going to just shit the bed a bit when they've had a chance. Ball has just gotten away from them. So unlucky Shells tonight a couple of times. I don't think it would change the outcome of the game, but I think a couple of times they've just, it's like they found themselves in a position and went, oh God, what do I do now? I can't believe I'm in this position kind of thing, But there you go. Yeah, I just think we need to be a little bit careful, Keith. Dropping more players in on top of players they're trying to bed in. But I think the guy he won, I think in defence, I think that's a given, especially losing the boy Leone and Gahey being such a big target for us in the summer. Ball slipped in again here, edge of the Shelbourne box. Keeper clears it. Liverpool should get 6 points out of the next 2 games. I just don't say that. Please don't say that. Honestly. This is the easier run of games that we're on. The easier run of games. How can you be so confident going into that Brighton game? I'm talking about Liverpool potentially edging this in a real tough game 2-1. You know what I mean? It's tight, man. Tight. Your confidence at times is insane. Palace with the ball at the back here. Richards just squaring it in there too. Lacroix. Out to Gahey. Gahey switched it into Williams. They're really moving the ball around now. Could open up Shelbourne here. Williams out onto the right-hand side. Klein on the right-hand side. Just unlucky with the pass there. Probably a poor decision. Probably should have given it back to Richards. Richards with the ball now. Cross in. Oh. Out for a corner. Goal kick or corner? Goal kick. Moving the ball real nice though, Palace at the moment. Shelbourne really struggling. Doesn't Semenyo play as a left winger? I think Slot should stick to the formation he played against Inter Milan. We looked a bit more composed at the back and it helped us in the midfield. It did. The only problem it did though, we were a little bit blunt up front. Coiler going off here. Put in a real shift tonight. Fair play, Coiler. Gannon coming on for Coiler. But yeah, I think you can play with that, but I think the onus is on you when you're at home against Brighton to be just a little bit more progressive. That yes, hold on to the ball, yes, control the ball a bit more, like what we seen in the West Ham game, and that can bear fruit. But we did look creation-wise. I thought we were a little bit blunt against Inter Milan. I don't think we created a whole lot. The ref is certainly letting plenty go tonight, isn't he? But I don't think we created enough, Keith, and I don't think you get away with that at Anfield against Brighton. I think you're going to have to create a lot more, while being very cautious against the likes of Danny Welbeck and stuff like that, who can really hurt you. Shelbourne on the attack here down the left-hand side, recycling the ball back. See the way Shells move the ball around. They move the ball around very well, but at times it just looks a little bit laboured, where if you look on a pitch like that, a wet pitch like that tonight, Crystal Palace will zip that ball around, Yeah, I don't know, Keith. I would imagine if they're bringing Semenyo in, I think they're thinking the right-hand side. Otherwise, you're looking at a load of upheaval again. When we talk about Slot, when he makes a substitution, and all of a sudden 3 or 4 players are being moved around into different positions, and then it just looks so unfamiliar and disjointed. That's what I think would happen if Semenyo goes on the left. Then who do they put on the right? Are we talking about playing Bradley and Frimpong ahead of him on the right? Is that what we're thinking? Or, do we switch? Are we going to have a switch across? I don't know. I think unless Semenyo's going on the right, I think on that left-hand side, it's very, very clustered. There's potential talk of Ekitike. Gakpo's obviously there as well. I don't know, dropping Semenyo in there as well. I think it would be for the right-hand side. Duffer looks bored. Yeah, he does, doesn't he? He does. .77 minutes gone here, folks. 38 minutes ago. Still 3-0 to Crystal Palace. Shelbourne have kind of huffed and puffed, but Shell should have doubled this lead. They should be 6-0 up at this stage with some of the chances that they've missed. Make sure you're liking and subscribing, folks. And make sure you're checking out. Don't forget, tomorrow we should have a preview for Brighton. We'll certainly have the Premier League predictions. Will be up in the morning. We'll have a reaction to the Brighton show as well, probably on Saturday evening. Hopefully, I'm not too sure. If to go out for a meal, it's Dylan's 19th. So we are going out for a meal. So the Brighton reaction might be a bit delayed. And then obviously we're live on Saturday night into Sunday morning, probably going live around 12, half 12, for live coverage of Saturday night's main event, John Cena's final match, bowing out on Saturday night. Can you believe it? 20 odd years, 21 years and 23 years in total in there, 24. So phenomenal career the guy has had, the absolute backbone of WWE for the last 20 years. An absolute stellar career, and certainly one that warrants the status of GOAT. That is for sure. So join us for that watch along as well. It should be interesting. 4 really good matches lined up for Saturday night's main event as well. Used with just a straight pass there. Picks out lovely ball there. Lovely ball. Shelbourne on the attack. Richards on the cover. Crowded out again. Unlucky. Too many players around him and not enough lads getting up into the attack. The first pass in is really, really good, isn't it? They've done a lot of that tonight, Shells, in terms of releasing the front man with really, really good passes. But just the support structure doesn't get up there in time as well. Totally isolated, surrounded by 3 and 4 Crystal Palace players, and it's only going to be one winner when that happens. So they've just struggled from that point of view. You know, like I said, it's in the final third where they've struggled a lot. Some of the passing has been decent, you know. But yeah, still 3-0. Still 3-0. But yeah, join us for that live watch along Saturday night's main event. I'm sure the boys are going to get emotional as well. John Cena's last match, for the likes of Sean, who's, you know, he's been such a part of the two Sean's fandom because they're at that age. They're ruthless aggression guys, you know. But obviously for Bren as well. Bren's been a huge John Cena fan for a long time now and stuff like that. And of course we all are, you know what I mean? And like, if you're not a John Cena fan, you're probably just a hater, you know what I mean? He's done some remarkable stuff in the business. He's been by far the company man, hasn't he, really? He's been the backbone of the company now for a long, long time. Crystal Palace player on the ground here. Ball put out of play by Mark Gay, I think. Harry Wood going off here for Shells. Struggling in game. Couple of touches in the first half, but really struggled to get into it. And Chapman coming on. Another double sub coming off here, isn't it? And Bang going off as well. He's put in a shift tonight, in fairness, and Bang. And Temple coming on. He's put in a real good shift tonight, and Bang. He's worked up and down that line very, very hard for Joey, that's for sure. Yeah, there you go. I think on the commentary there, they're agreeing me. They've put in a shift. They have tried hard, and they've put in that application. They just the quality sometimes just outdoes you and stuff like that and all, you know. No lack of effort or desire. Devaney going off. Looks like he's hobbling badly here, is it? Casey coming on. Palace fans are in dream world here at the moment, having a great time. Many a Guinness was had. Hope they're having a great time. Get yourselves out there tonight, folks, as well, and have a good time out. Enjoy it. Now, the atmosphere in Tampa Bar, I'd say, be electric. It was electric earlier from what we've seen from the footage and stuff like that and all. So that's what you want to see, isn't it? Come over and enjoy yourselves. Have a good time and stuff. See, SmackDown and Rumble combined tickets cheapest prices is €80, and floor tickets are €500. Did you see the queue? Did you see the queue today for the Rumble tickets? At one stage, I think Dano sent to me, at one stage was there 860,000 people in the queue. I think Dano sent to me today. Maybe I'm right. 860,000 people in the queue. People talking about Riyadh and people talking about Saudi and doing these shows there and stuff like that. No lack of suitors for tickets. That's for sure by the looks of things. Dano sent a screenshot today in the queue for tickets for the Rumble in Riyadh. And 860,000 people in the queue for a stadium that probably holds, I don't know, what's it going to hold? 40, 50,000 maybe or something like that. No doubt they'll have one of the World Cup stages. Ball into the box, ping pong again here. Back in the keeper's hands. Gonna knock that one down to a player and get him a chance to pull the trigger. Young lad Casey in the thick of it anyway. That's good to see. So I don't know. I don't know. It's going to be very, very interesting. I would imagine they'll have one of the big stadiums available for WrestleMania 43. Maybe the stadium that they're going to use for the World Cup final when it goes there in 2030. So I'd imagine maybe if there's something like that available, that's what you'll be going with Mania, one of those big stadiums, I would imagine. Where are they going with Aces? Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre, WWE Championship Royal Rumble. Big fan of Drew McIntyre. 2026 has to be the year of Drew McIntyre, doesn't it? Drew McIntyre has to, I wouldn't say step out of the shadows, but there has to be something for the effort that he's putting in. He's put in such an effort in 2025, and he's had very little, if anything, to show for it. He's been stellar on social media. You know, the stuff he was doing with Punk earlier in the year or previously and stuff like that and all. Like that tail end of 2024 into 2025 has been absolutely stellar. Oh, unlucky. Has to be stellar for Drew. Has been stellar for Drew McIntyre. And be interesting to see. Don't forget, folks, we are going to be doing the award show next week, the 16th. So make sure you get it in. We'll post it up. I'll do a quick short on it tomorrow, giving you the categories. And take those categories and let us know who you're picking. And remember, it's across the board. It's not just WWE. It could be AEW, TNA, whatever you feel you want to put on it. Like I said, with wrestling, as a fan, it's all about opinions and there's no right or wrong answers. So enjoy the award show. It should be a bit of crack. We're going to have a lot of fun on it and stuff like that. And it's a nice way to round out the year as well, showing recognition for some of the stuff we have enjoyed during the year and possibly highlighting some of the stuff that we didn't potentially like. So make sure you join us for that as well. It's already up there on the channel. So make sure you just set an alert on it so you don't miss it. And as Keith said earlier in the show as well, we will be doing a watch along for the Royal Rumble in Saudi, which is perfect timing for us as well, being here in Europe. We don't have to spend half the night up watching it and stuff like that. And also, yeah, we'll enjoy that as well. Ball slipped through here. Oh, unlucky, good cover. Oh. Kick out. Game's just kind of ran out a little bit here now, hasn't it? It's just gotten a little bit disjointed and number of changes have been made and it's doesn't quite have the synergy that it had, especially in the Palace team. 86 minutes gone here, folks. Still 3-0. So you can tell Shells have put in a shift this second half as well. 0-0 for the second half. But 3-0. 3-0 after the first half. Richards with a foul there and Shelbourne player went through him there. So Shelbourne will have a chance to throw a ball into the box here, and that's what they should be doing. So it'll be interesting to see what they do here. Oh, yeah. Boyd would like to get something from his night's work tonight, I'd imagine. Carefree looking central. McEnroy going to send this in, is it? Ah, horrific. Comes to a Shells player, though. Oh, let it slip. Crystal Palace trying to come out here now. See how easy Palace kind of find a way out. It's not as laboured as what we've seen from Shells, you know. And a lot of that, you have to recognise the fact that Shell's season is finished. You know, they're on their European journey at the moment, and Palace are playing week in, week out, probably 2 games a week on average, you know. So it makes a big difference. Makes a big, big difference. A lot of hard yards have been put in tonight, that's for sure. There's that Hughes again. So clever. Lovely turn. Lovely turn. Has to be a free kick, no? Free kick here on the edge of the box to Crystal Palace. Going to bring it back a little bit from the box there. So it's about 6 yards outside the box on the right-hand side. So we'll see who steps up to take this. Palace could potentially make it 4-0. Yeah, Drew McIntyre races. I think this could be Drew's. I think 2026 will be Drew's year. I think so. He has to get a world title on him anyway. All that effort that he's poured in, both on social media, on and off camera, and everything else, and all, and the shift he's put in the last 2 years at least, has to find his way back to a world title. Feels unfair that he wouldn't, you know, considering he was carrying the belt during the pandemic. Very, very tough without fans and stuff like that and all, you know. So hopefully stay with this free kick here at the moment. Sousa is back from it, and SA standing over the ball. Sousa looks like he's lining up for a little touch. Sousa into the wall. Shell's take it away. Shell's take it away here. Shell's here on the break. Shell's onto the break here. Goes across. Oh, ref, he took it. Ref. Oh. This is what we said, just in that final third, isn't it? Just in that final third. You can't complain about the endeavour. Just missing that bit of quality, isn't it? Just missing that bit of quality. 89 minutes here. We're in the 90th minute here. Wonder what they're going to put up. There has been a few substitutions, so could get 3 or 4 minutes, could we? Player was down as well. Devaney was down, wasn't he? Either a hammy or cramp or something like that. So could get a bit of time. Ball played through. Shell's player picks it up. Unlucky. Shelbourne looks spent now at this stage. A lot of players struggling there now at the moment. Must be for the scent with it. Oh, the shirt pull on. Yeah. Two minutes. Thought it might have been a little bit more, but people probably, it's a horrible night. Shell's fans have already been pouring out. Get on that Lewis early. Get out of there. Horrific, horrible night. Fair play just for showing up as well. Hats off to the Shells fans as well. Filthy night out there. Free kick to Shells, was it? Gannon on the deck. Ooh. I thought he took the kick to the midsection, then he went down holding the knee. I don't know. Frustrating for Joey O'Brien, you know, but like, you know, you have to. We're in. Oh, what a save! What a save for Benitez. Unbelievable. What a save. Beautiful ball over the top. Gets the nod on. Runs in around the back. Corner out the Shells. I'd love to see Shells get a goal here, you know what I mean? I think the endeavour deserves it, but corner in, flicked on. Oh, just no one there to meet it, and Crystal Palace clear it. Shells still switch the ball back out. Ball into the box. Oh. Free kick, pulled him down. Probably be a card as well, yeah? No? No booking. No point at this stage. Nearly 2 minutes are up, folks. What a save from Benitez. Super save. Super save. It's beautiful play by Shelbourne. That's full time, folks. 3-0 Crystal Palace on the night. Big 3 points for Crystal Palace as well in the conference on fairness of the table. Big win for Palace. Tough time for Shells. Tough for them, folks. Tough for them. Tough for them. Right, folks, I'm going to split. I've got loads to do still tonight. So, listen, thanks for joining. Thanks for joining us on the watch along. Bit of crack, a little bit different on a Thursday. Dazzler was busy. He'll be back next week, no doubt. Pina with the goals and Ketia and Eche with the goals on 11, 37 and 29. 3-0 for Crystal Palace. Comprehensive win, but I think Shells did have a number of moments and some passages of play where they did really, really well that Joey O'Brien can take from that as well. Obviously disappointing on the night, but that's the way it goes. Folks, if you could subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification button and drop a like on the video, and we'll talk to you again real soon. Cheers, folks.